Let's continue with row 5 and 6 of pattern 2 of the King's Cable sweater. If you missed the previous 4 rows, check out my previous videos that are linked in my description. This is what we have so far, but let's continue with row 5, which is on the right side of our piece. So first we do our stockinette stitches as always in our size. So I'm doing 19 stockinette stitches and will then continue with pattern 2 as seen here. I am already working on the second repetition, so here you can see the continuation of the pattern. Let's start pattern 2 by making 2 purl stitches to begin row 5. So 1, and then you do another purl stitch. Then you yarn over in order to make the next 4 knit stitches. So knit 1, knit 2, and 3, and knit 4. So now do this one more time. So purl 2 first and then knit another 4. So purl 1 and purl 2, yarn over and start knitting the first stitch and the second stitch and the third knit stitch and the fourth knit stitch. And then you go ahead and yarn over again to make a final 2 purl stitches. So purl 1 and purl 2. Perfect. And now we have a new cable coming up, which we've never done before, but it is very simple. So you do a C6B purlwise this time. Take a third or a cable needle, and then you go ahead by putting 2 stitches from your left needle onto your cable needle, and then you put those 2 stitches into the back of your project. Now you knit the next 4 stitches from your left needle while ignoring the ones that you put into the back. So go ahead and push your stitches from the right needle into a comfortable position. Start knitting 1. While not losing any stitches, then knit your second stitch off of your left needle and the third knit stitch, and then do that one more time with the fourth knit stitch. Here we go. Loosen everything up, and now you can take the 2 stitches that are resting on the back of your cable needle, so to speak, back onto your left needle. And now this time we purl the next 2 stitches instead of knitting them, which is unique to what we have done before in this pattern. So once you yarn over, you start with your first purl while not losing any of the stitches. So go in and pull that purl through, and then you do your last purl stitch, and you have then completed your lovely cable pattern. You can then start loosening everything up a bit so that nothing slides off of your needle, and then we will continue by knitting the next 8 stitches, which are basically our center 8 stitches, as you can see by the clip that is marking the center. So knit 1, knit 2, knit 3, knit 4. Here's my center clip, which I will need to remove before we proceed with the next 4 knit stitches. So knit the 5th and 6th and 7 and number 8. So here we go, our center 8 knit stitches. We can now mark our center again for the next row, and then we will continue mirroring our work so far. By now, instead of doing the C6B purlwise, we do a C6F purlwise, which means that we need another third needle again, or a cable needle. And this time we put 4 stitches onto our cable needle, and instead of putting it into the back, we leave it in front of our project. So put those 4 stitches onto your cable needle, make sure that nothing slides off, And then you can continue this time by yarning over again so that you start off with your purl stitches. So you make 2 purl stitches. So go in here and do 1 purl stitch, and then a second purl stitch, and then don't forget to yarn over, and then you can also put your 4 knit stitches back onto your left needle, and we can then proceed by knitting those 4 stitches that we were just putting back to our left needle like normal knit stitches. So yarn over and then start by knitting 1 while also making sure not to lose any of your previous stitches. 1, and then knit the second stitch, another third stitch, and a last one to complete this cable pattern. Now loosen everything up since it tends to get a bit tight. And then you can look at what you have done so far. So with the 2 cables that we were just doing and the center 8 knit stitches, your project will look more or less like this. Now let's continue knitting. So the next sequence will be 2 purl stitches. So make sure to yarn over and do your first purl stitch, 1 and then 2. And now again we repeat by doing 4 knit stitches. So get into position and knit 1, knit 2, knit 3, and knit 1 more. Now you need to yarn over again in order to purl the next 2 stitches. So purl 1 and purl 2. You will repeat this another time, so we are now yarn over again in order to knit the next 4 stitches. So do 2, knit the third one, and knit the 4th, and then we yarn over again in order to purl 2 more stitches before we reach our stockinette section of this row, which is already not part of pattern 2 anymore. So now we have completed row 5 of pattern 2, and now we just need to finish the stockinette part that is here. I've just gone ahead and knitted it already. Also remember to keep the last and first stitch, of course, always in garter. So this is what it looks like so far after we have knitted row 5 of pattern 2. So you can already see how the V is growing, and also how beautiful all those cables look that we were doing so far. Now let's continue knitting row 6 of pattern 2. So for that we need to turn over our project, and then we will begin with our stockinette stitches, our pattern 2 in the middle, and then in the very last our stockinette row again, with of course ending in the garter edge stitch. So here I went ahead and did the stockinette row, and then we just continue knitting the knits and purling the purls. So here, for example, you first knit the first 2 stitches, as you can see the V of the knit stitches, and then you yarn over in order to do the next 4 stitches as purl stitches. So purl 1, purl 2, purl 3, and purl 4, and then you just continue all of that by just looking at what you had in front of you. If it was a knit stitch, you knit it again, then you purl the purls, and so on. So knit the next 2, then purl the next 4, knit the next 2, purl the next 4, then knit 2, and then in the center you will purl 8, and then it just goes back from here to mirror the row. So you knit 2, then you purl 4, then you knit 2, and then you purl 4, and then you knit 2, and then you should have already completed row 6 of pattern 2. So once you reached here, you will now do your stockinette until the end with purls and ending on a knit stitch as a garter edge. And this is what it looks like once you have completed all of row 6 of the piece. And now I'll show you what it looks like on the right side of the project. So turn over your project and it should look more or less like my piece here. So you have a beautiful V forming up there and all the cables looking great and the stockinette all being harmoniously knit stitched. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and see you next time.